comrades die, and I go on alone. I will not stop to ask them why. I know I can't go home. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. And if I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. My back is broke, my armor's rent, my blood is on the field. My sword is gone, my body's spent, I lie upon my shield. I faced my foe, they laid me low, but I go with a smile. The labyrinth, it calls to me. I'll wander it a while. The labyrinth, it calls to me. I'll wander it a while. My eyes are clear, my back is strong, my harness free of rot. My sword is sharp, my shield unbound, my pride will waver not. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. And if I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. But war is cruel, my comrades die, and I go on alone. I will not stop to ask them why. I know I can't go home. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. And if I should fall and walk no more, I shall.
Evening all. Hopefully everything's working alright. How are we all doing? As Ben's just said, how is Monday treating everyone? I hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone is doing better than my internet is currently. Okay, looks like it's all caught up. It's not falling over as much anymore. That's wonderful news. Wonderful news. Yep, I know that feeling. We're feeling it's Monday for the last few days. Yeah, so I hope everyone is okay. I've had a long weekend. Been away with the future in-laws, and it's been really good fun to go and see them all. FL Jordan, welcome to the Hefty Fam. So now we're all here. The Outlaws. Well, no, I know a lot of people would say that about the Future In-Laws, but they're quality's good, isn't it? Yeah. The Future In-Laws, I really like them. I get on really well with them. I think. I hope I do. I hope they like me. If not, they're really good at covering it up. The new PC helps with that. Helen got me a brand new top of the line webcam. So the next step up on the camera front will be getting a proper DSLR camera and all of that sort of stuff. So, Choco Moco Latte. Prime Gaming sub. Thank you so much for doing that. And not Gold Hawk as well. George. So yeah, everything's good. This month's going to run a little bit differently. Debbie Larps. Hello. I hope you're well. I'm good. As I was saying, this month's going to run a little bit differently. So we're focusing very heavily on Empire this month, and I'm using my hands a lot to talk here. So hi Becca and Rachel, 13 months. Jesus. So what the plan for this month is I've got the monthly giveaways that I do. So normally I have announced these by now, but because of what's going on this month, I'm holding off on announcing it. There is a lot of people who are struggling at the moment this month. It feels in general. So I have a different idea of what I'm going to do. I'm still going to go for the people who who have the person who has won the vote. So at the moment we've got joint first. The common denominator with this is they could use a pick-me-up. And I'm getting a lot of people saying, hi Steve, everyone newbie here, come to lurk and learn. Vreek Beard, well, welcome my friend. You're more than happy to lurk, and to learn is at a push. I'll do a lot of talking, but feel free, ask any questions you want. It doesn't really matter. Just get involved. Ask questions if you choose to. If you want to listen. You want to join the Discord, We're a friendly bunch. Sometimes, mainly, probably not. Maybe, who knows. But yeah, you get as involved as you want to. Okay? Overly friendly, yeah. So, there's a lot of people who need help at the moment. They're just feeling down, they're busy, they're doing a lot of things. So I'm going to go out of my way and I'm going to do a little bit more this month, and we're going to give a little bit more back. So there's a few things to there's a few things that we can do. So these will all be announced over the coming months, over the coming weeks. Fuck's sake. So we're gonna do some more bits, and we are gonna help people out in any way that we can. Okay. Unfortunately, as Becca's, I always want to do more, and that's the problem. I always want to do more, and I know I can do more. So, I understand. I mean, it's like I have the Patreon, and I don't expect people to pay into the Patreon. There's so many people out there who are struggling money-wise and stuff like that, yet they give. I'd rather you'll just look up. People need to look after themselves, and that's a great thing, and that's a good thing that you can do. So, this is what we're going to do. So the people who need help or are struggling and stuff like that, they're all going to get something. I'm going to give something to them. And Steve. Oh, thanks very much, Ben. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks everyone for the bits. Thanks Joe. Thanks James. James, I hope you're doing all right, mate. I haven't seen you for a little bit. So this is the plan. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to move on from there. I was considering I know this is a tangent, and I've got 10 nations to fit into an hour and 20 now. I'm going to fail so badly. So my plan for this month is what normally happens with the bit goal that you see up here, something dark side. I normally get all of that, and I get something cool, and I go to 1 or 2 people and go, da-da, here's all of this. I have a plan for it this month, so we can get more people involved, and I can go, I can do an Oprah. You win a prize, and you win a prize, and you win a prize. It's not going to be a car. Not going to be a car. Might be a little, it could get a little car, but still. So that's what we're going to do. So, Steve, you really are such a wonderful man. You give so much amazing to this community already. You're amazing. Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I can drop the marchers. Yeah, I probably can. And High Guard and Dawn. I can relate to struggling. I've been super motivated and managed to set my photography yesterday. A few hours later, I had to make it private because I didn't watermark my pictures, and I'm too broke to get someone to do it for me. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. All I'll say is I feel the same. I did some editing, and I had some constructive feedback on it, and they're 100% right. And I was looking at it myself, going, I need the energy to do this, and I haven't done it yet. So, oh, Liam, I think Ben's sending you a link to help you with your watermarks, mate. So, but yeah, so we can do all of this sort of stuff. Yeah, so bad news last night. It's been an emotional time, but we're all here for each other. Reach out, Becca. If you need a chat, you can always chuck me a message. I am happy to chat if you need to. All right? No one is on their own at the end of the day. So, it'll be worth it when you do, Steve. I know it will be. I just need the motivation to do it. It's like I had planned to go off and do some things today, but I'd completely forgotten about an important phone call I was receiving, so I just didn't bother doing anything today. I sat around and I spoke, and I was chatting to Joe most of the afternoon. That was my afternoon. Good afternoon, but I need to do other things. I needed to get myself sorted. Sending positive thoughts and vibes. Yeah. So everyone's positive. Everyone's good. So yeah. Oh, level 2 hype train. 16%. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to sub to the channel, you can do Amazon Prime, which helps massively. You can go for bits. Don't donate. Don't use the donate button because that sucks ass. It doesn't. Basically, Twitch take a lot of that, and it's not very good. So yeah, not donations, just do bits and Amazon Prime or Patreon. That's the best things to do. So yeah, we're all good here. Anyway, so that is where we're going to do, and then all of these prizes, everything that's going to be done is going to be done on the Matt Pennington stream. Matt P has had to deliver so much bad news this year to a lot of people. Let's give him a positive one. Let's give him a win this year. I'd quite like to get Matt P something as well. Sending something up to him. We've done a webcam for him already. We'll see what the quality of that's like. It looks good. I've already seen it. So, yeah. I'm keeping it close to the chest at the moment, but I love you all. Well, you know where I am if you need anything, Becca. Okay? But so feel free and feel safe in the knowledge that if people tell me private personal information, my memory is such that I would have forgotten about it an hour later. I'm terrible. My memory is awful. I need to write stuff down still. So yes. So yeah, I'd like to do something positive for Matt P as well, because I think he needs it too. So yeah, right. Let's crack on then, shall we? In the hour and a quarter, I'll just take it out on the players at Gulag. Yes, I mean Matt Positivity. Well, I'm going to end the stream on that note, I think. I think we're done there. Present for Matt P. Anyone got a spare few $100,000 for a few acres of forest? It costs more than that. So what we'll do is we're going to go through all of the nations tonight. We're going to try to go through all of the nations tonight. We're probably going to miss some out, but still, He likes Dawn, so maybe something glorious. Also can report Steve is amazing to speak to for support. He has been there and called me and really put me up and spoke some sense into my stubborn head. Yeah, it's weird if I do that because I can't do it for myself. So, if I win the lottery, I'd invest. Me too. And thank you for saying that, Liam. That really means a lot, mate. Right. So, Nations of Empire. We all play this wonderful, wonderful LARP. 10 nations. Kinda. Maybe. Can I name all of the nations without looking? Because I can't. I probably can, actually. Thank you for the bits there, Panda. I just wanted to add something that's reminded me. It was Pride Month last month. I'm normally really, really good at advertising these things, putting these things up and saying amazing things about it. I completely forgot. I just didn't think. And I apologise. So, my server it's always Pride Month. Everyone's visible. Everyone is visible on my server. It's always Pride Month. That place is so positive and so happy, and everyone is welcome, and no one is put down. If I can name all the nations without looking, I'll donate more bits. Right. So, let's go. Brass Coast, Dawn. I'm trying to do it in High Guard. Trying to do it in alphabetical order. Imperial Orcs. Marches. Urizen. Varushka. Varushka. Wintermark. Navarr. So I've missed them out. There goes the alphabet. Shut up, Helen. League. I could do that. I can't do the virtues though. So there we go. Doing well. Done well. So that's all 10. So the nation. I was talking about. I touched on this briefly on Thursday gone. The way that they have made the nations is that there's a lot of crossover. Gifted. Oh, Becca, thank you so much. Sinead, Bear, Alex. There you go. 3 subs. Thank you so much, Becca. Much clapping. Is there a dirty mnemonic? Not for the nations. Zara came out with a good one for the virtues, but I can't remember it. I can't remember most things, but I can get there for a lot of them. So,
we're getting all 10.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Ben, Panda, Joe. Wow. Let's let them go.
Well done, Steve.
So, all of the nations have a bit of crossover, which is really, really cool. So, you'll get a lot of the nations who'll have not crossover, not just with their kit, which we touched on last week, and we'll touch on more on Wednesday. James as well, thanks. That's awesome. Am I gonna have to mute the sounds again because we're getting all the 1-bits come through? So with all the briefs as well, like backstory, crossover, diplomacy, and military interests and stuff like that, all the nations have a bit of crossover there as well. So some nations don't get on with other nations. Some nations don't like certain nations for behaviours in the past. Like real world politics, I guess it's all political at the end of the day. And things grow, they change. So there are rivalries in the field between nations that in year 1, when I started, so E1 year 1, I'm an Empire boomer, I guess. I think that's what I got called before. I can't remember. See what I mean? I can't remember fuck all. That meant that so when we started, certain nations got on, but from to now, those nations don't get on as much as they did then. and it's been really, really interesting to see. So, favourite parts of the game, all right, E1er? Yeah, there's quite a few of us, so it shouldn't really be that bad at that. Not say bad, that's that sort of a thing. So, let us get the wonderful thing loaded up. Look at that. So, I attempted it. Everyone loves Highguard. Kyle, a Highguard doesn't like Highguard. You could leave them alone. You could have two members of Highguard in the same room together, and they would walk out hating Highguard. That's all. So, hi Varushka, how you doing? Hope you're good. So, I had a look through these today, and I realised how little I know about a lot of the nations, and it's made me realise why I loved to do the nation chats. Pardon me. So we'll do this in alphabetical order. So Brass Coast. This was interesting when I was having a look through. So Brass Coast, founded by exiles from ancient Highguard. What can you say? So, Brass Coast are essentially Highguard light. Potentially. They're really, really not. Everyone loves Navarr. Straight to the bar. Strength to the Empire. Straight to the bar. Definitely. So, yeah, that. I hadn't realised that before. But because, obviously, I've never been playing these nations, I don't really tend to look into too much. I like to find out about these nations from in the field. So, there is a huge amount there. We are only going to briefly touch on each nation because there's so much to each nation. It's why I've done streams before where we've been talking for 2 hours about a nation, and that is still not enough time to talk about that nation. So me giving it 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, is going to be interesting. And we'll know how quick I'm going because as the stream goes on, I will speed through nations really, really quickly. So, 5 things to know about the Freeborn. They're notoriously candid, brazen in person, disarmingly frank in negotiation. They don't lie. They don't lie. They will tell you the truth. It's better for them to tell the truth because that means they are more trustworthy. There are opinions of this, there are takes on this that are in character, to be found out in character, I will say. We'll leave it at that. So it's worth going to talk to them and forming your own opinions of them. I have my own IC opinions on the Brass Coast. It's not good, but that's where I'll leave that. So it's worth going to talk to them. All things can have a price. This is what I love. When the game started, everybody said all things can have a price, and everyone assumed it was money. So you had a lot of run-ins with the Brass Coast where they were saying, we'd say, can I have this information? And they'd go, yeah, it's this much money. They would charge you for everything. And it didn't mean money. You could go up to the Brass Coast and say, can I come and sit with you at your fire? So early on they would say, yeah, it's a crown. It's 5 rings. It's a ring. It's however much money. If they're in a really, really important meeting, it's a throne. Something like that. But when this all sort of got explained, it is very much, can I sit by your fire? You can, but only if you tell us a joke, only if you tell us a story, only if you sing us a song, only if you've bought a drink, only if you've done this. Doesn't have to be money. So the price doesn't have to be money. Information in the Anvil field means so much. Now there's a lot of information brokers in that field. I use that term very, very loosely. Sadly make my excuses, I'm low in spoons, but we'll love you, but leave you open for streaming. Much love, Brother and Hefty fam. Love you, Matt. Hope you're okay, mate. I'll be about for a chat after if you need it. I'm here. Talk to me. We can slag off the England football team because you know that's easy. Yes, brass coasters. League did the same, or at least half the league. Yes. Oh God. Our Biffa, hello. Yeah. So now it's information brokers it's getting a lot of information in the field. You can your price can be you need to tell me a bit of information. There's a nation out there that says that's very much about secrets, or there are a group that are very much about secrets out there. So they all just turn around and say to you, you just need to tell me a secret about yourself. You need to tell me a secret that you are aware of. You need to tell me something like that. That's pretty much all you need from them. They prize freedom and responsibility and disdain arrogance. That's interesting. Because the people from the Brass Coast I've met have been incredibly arrogant. Yeah. Very, very interesting. But then again, everyone who says that they're normally like this, and this in the brief, you're going to get the odd person who's different. So every individual is responsible to themselves. Yeah, that's very much. They are very, very individual. They are very responsible, unique. They do a lot of stuff on their own, and you can rely on them to do things for you if you need them to. They crave adventure and excitement, none more so than their corsairs, who are the terror of the high seas. I think we need to remind them about Katazar Bay. But yeah, we'll leave that one there, I think. They like agreements to be explicit. The free one like everyone to know exactly what has been agreed to. They do contracts. They love to sit down and draw up a contract. It's really interesting. They love to sit down. They'll have a contract drawn up. They have everybody sign it, and they do all of that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting to see. It's not always down to how good a person is at writing up contracts either. It is very much down to the role play of it as well. So it's really interesting. But Bale Jr., this is great for 4 months. 3 months straight. Bale later never. Hi guys. Hello. Thank you so much for subbing. That's awesome. I have an idea for what we could do for Matt P. How about doing a video of messages from Matt P, saying positive messages for him and things like that? We could do. We will put something out, and we will have a look, and we'll have a think about it. That's a good idea too. Arrogance and confidence are a fine line, and your mileage may vary. Definitely. Your mileage may vary as well. Who knows? A notion that Ellen's uniquely coloured individualist. No. Yes. Good luck fizz repping that one. Unrelated to nations, but I just thought when looking at the brief, sometimes people pick what they like and lean heavily on certain aspects. My question is, does it work the same for lineage, like as a changeling? I saw my attitude and such should change, but I don't like the idea of having to look down and think I'm better than other people. A lot of that's individualistic as well. So when it comes to lineages, certain things affect lineages in certain way. So you can have something happen and it will affect you. There are things that happen in the briefs that get put out that will affect your mannerisms, your behaviours, and how you react. It will come down to what territory you're in as well. So there's a lot of things to consider when playing a lineage. Lineages are very roleplay heavy as well, and they are in my eyes. I mean, they are playing it on hard mode as well. Gallium32 subscriber prime, thank you so much for the sub there. Really appreciate it. So you can get stuff like that as well. There are ways of doing it to be comfortable with it. I mean, obviously, if you're not comfortable with looking down your nose at everybody, then just don't do it. That's the simple. The changing pride is a trapping, isn't it? All but the iconic trappings are optional. There we go. That explains that one. So Liam, I wouldn't worry if something makes you that uncomfortable. Then I mean, obviously email PD as well, just to get clarification on something. But if it makes you that uncomfortable, don't do it. Just really, really don't do it. So let's crack back on with the brass coasters. So what they are not: desert dwellers, dodgy camel sellers, or slave traders. No. So they are not like Robin Williams' genie at the beginning of Aladdin. That is not what they are. So, yeah. So don't do them like that. There is a lot more here, as you can see. People and customs and all of this sort of stuff. So, I will say that if you want to come in with minimal knowledge of a nation, if you're playing a different nation, have a little look at the introduction and the people, and then you can ask questions from there. If you're playing the nation, obviously read as much as you can and stuff. So, but this looks awesome. I think this is a Tom. Let's check it. Graffiti, yeah. So I think this is Tom Garrett. Photo there. Is that Triz in the background? Oh, Nexus. Hello, how you doing? Did you get the new uni? Yeah, I hope you did. I hope you got that sorted. So, right, Brasco. So, like I say, very, very brief. I've now got 60 minutes to deal with 9 nations. And that's maths now. And I don't know how long I've got on each. So, Dawn. Right. Dawn are Matt P's favourite nation. We'll start off with that because everyone in Dawn seems to love that one's come out. All the photos from Empire are epic. The photographers do such a good job. They really do. So I've got 6.5 minutes on each nation now. I'm going to fail so badly at this. So, Dawn, a great life leaves a legend. They are about glory. So, knight errants travel in the land seeking an opportunity to prove themselves and achieve glory. They are about nobility. They are Arthurian-esque. In a way, they are... I was talking to someone who was looking at Dawn, and she said that she wanted to wear this really beautiful gown and stuff like that. She wanted to be a princess, and I just said, okay, that's fine, but I mean, why a princess? All of my experience with women from Dawn they're powerful. They are powerful. They are incredible, and they don't want to just be there to go, oh, look at me, I'm pretty and stuff like that. They want to be, no, I'm a motherfucking sorceress, and I'm gonna basically do all of this shit. I don't care about you or whatever you want, and I'm gonna be the most glorious sorceress out there. They are power. Just power. And I think the way we left it was the more powerful they are, the better the dress. That's how I left it. So I think she's looking at having this an amazing dress and is going to be the most powerful, looking at being the most, carrying themselves the most powerful sorceress going. And I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. I'm not too bad. Hey, I'm sending off applications first thing tomorrow and she'll hear back shortly after. That is awesome. Someone put a timer on. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so Dawn are... I have to admit, the more I talk about Dawn and the more I look at Dawn, the more I like them. It's horrible, isn't it? So, her proud boasts are not hollow. Alone amongst the nations of the Empire, Dawn has never given up land to the barbarians. But the aspiration to achieve great things is not just found on the battlefield. Every Dawnish feels that same urge that this is a nation that eats and drinks glory. Glory is also heresy. I will add that. Nobility is an achievement, not a birthright. So Dawn have a test of mettle that everyone has to go through. It's a way of proving yourself within the nation, within families, within houses, I believe they're called. So, and they can be to do absolutely anything. Obviously, if a noble doesn't want you to pass, they will give you something stupid to do. They'll give something really outlandish out there to do. But tests of metals seem like a hell of a lot of fun to do. They are the most heretical nation. You're probably right there. So, you should speak with Steph. She makes some awesome Dornish kit, but she is also the person I would mess with the least on the field. She is scary. There are quite a few, but I want you to be terrified of my sorcery and be the prettiest princess. That's a really good way of putting it, Dawn. That is a really good way of putting it. I will send her a message with that. You should, yeah. We'll have to speak with Steph. I'd have to speak with Steph as well, because there are so much amazing kit out there. It's truly terrifying, and it makes me look at my kit and go, "Oh, sad times." A great life leaves a legend. The only thing that remains when you depart this life is the memory of how you lived it. Death is nothing compared to great deeds. Glory is a double-edged sword for the Dornish. I have seen glory make them do really good things and amazing things, but I have also seen it lead the Empire in some of its worst defeats in that field. It's really interesting. Stories that I'm not going to tell you here. I'm not going to bring up now and talk about. But it's definitely a double-edged sword, like a lot of things in the field. So glorious in victory, proud in defeat. The Dornish relish a challenge. The more skilled present an opportunity for glory by defeating them. Those less skilled offer you an opportunity to demonstrate your prowess. Yeah, they weren't proud in their defeats that I've seen. They passed the buck. I think if in some of the defeats I've seen, if they took responsibility, then that'd be great. But they didn't, but I think that's down to a lot of individuals as well. Some people aren't comfortable with doing that in roleplay, and they don't want to be the focus of negative attention, which I can understand as well. You cannot armour the soul. The Dornish do not hide the great passions of the soul. They wear their hearts on the sleeve. I love this. The Dawn... oh, well, it kind of leads into the next one. Courtship, romance, and tragedy. The rules of the heart are complex in Dawn. Sometimes love is the greatest challenge. So, flowers are a big thing. But flower colours mean different things across every single house, which is really interesting. Oh, and there's Simulator. Hello, how are you doing? Worst defeats or glorious sacrifice? You can't claim glory in a sacrifice. That was not glorious. It was terrible. So they wear different coloured roses. I can't. Some of there I can't reach them there. So they wear different coloured roses or flowers, and they mean different things as well. So one house, so someone from one house could come up to me and give me a red rose, and that will mean that they love me. Someone else from a different house could come up to me and give me a red rose, and it will mean that they wish they wish bad things for me. So who knows? There, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one as well. I can feel my character's eyes rolling back into the skull when Dawn is mentioned. Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way about different nations. Every character, there is a nation there for them, I see, which makes them just go, oh, please, no. And, I mean, for me, I see it's Highguard. So, and Brass Coast. And Dawn. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, it's interesting. What the Dornish are not. Chivalrous. They don't open doors for anyone, male or female. Dornish women are independent and obsessed with glory as their male counterparts. The Dornish women are... best way to describe them. They're like the mafia. They know everything going on. They are terrifying. Do not mess with them. That's all I'm going to say on that. They're required to be honourable. The Dornish obsession with triumph or renown, it does not demand a generous spirit. So they are not required to be like that. So similar to the way the Navarr you can't betray your enemies. So lots of things like that. So, oh, I love that photo. Lady Griffinsbane surveys her nation. Tom Garnett. So there is a photo group on the book face. So feel free, go and check them out. Next Nation time. Have I got to the we've got to the Next Nation already, have we? So all I see is Shattered Tower over there. So never mind, eh? Right, Highguard. Highborn are previously supremely confident in their own place in history. They really, really are. They epitomise imperial virtues to reflect the noble obligations of leadership, and thereby to embody the very spirit of the Empire. They created the Synod so that they may stand vigil over the collective soul of the Empire. So much religion in Highguard. They love it. They love a bit of it over there. Even though they are quite unvirtuous in actions. As every nation can be. So they're split into chapters as well. Highguard are a really good nation to go into because they are very roleplay heavy. In character, I can't stand Highguard. Out of character, I've got a few friends in Highguard, and I do love to go walking in there because you can see them, even though I'm stood off to the side having a chat with people and stuff like that while roleplay is going on and they're playing. It's so impressive. Everything they're doing, their standards, the way that they react to the brief, everything that they do, it is so good. There's some wonderful statues coming into Highguard, and they look amazing. And I cannot wait to see them in the field. Hopefully in September. Fingers crossed, touch wood, and all of that sort of stuff. So they are very, very, virtues heavy. So who's this? Charlotte Moss. It's a really, really good photo. It's just a shame the Shattered Tower in it, really. I don't know if Scott's watching at all, but it's just a shame that they're there. Restart the clock. My turn. My character was given a blue rose by a stranger. Cue the clueless Navarr face of confusion. Why are you giving me a plant? Yes. Yeah, the game thrives off drama. Drama needs a troublemaker. Yeah. Highguard, the Highborn, throw a lot of stuff out into that field. And it always creates game. Always creates game. They love to throw stuff at people. They accuse me of being a werewolf. My first character of being a werewolf. They actually drew up flyers and they sent rumours out. They started spreading rumours out there saying that I eat children and stuff. It was really to try to drag my character through the mud. It made my character even more popular. To the point of where my first character was in the running to become Empress, which was great. So, we made the Empire. The first Empress was Highborn. She pulled the scattered human nations together and enlightened them to the true faith. True. So, we do have Highguard to thank for a lot of stuff. Only actions are virtuous. Thoughts and feelings are never virtuous or vile. It's only the actions that you undertake that demonstrate your worth, be it good or bad. If you have done something bad in the name of a virtue, then that is no longer bad. If you have murdered someone because you are showing loyalty to the nation and you knew someone was going to, say, assassinate the Empress, whoever they may be, and you murder them, but it was because you're loyal to the Empire and you can prove that they were going to assassinate this person, it's no longer an evil act. It's a virtuous act, and you'll probably be rewarded for it as well. Sing the bells, 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 bells of Bastion. No. No. Dawn are interesting me the most so far, as their wiki music session mentions brass instruments, fanfares. Anyway, I hope to learn tunes on the site, so I've requested to join the Facebook music group to find out more. There's plenty of people who do music on the Discord as well. Then you can get away with that there as well. But yeah, music is great. They've got a huge choir as well. They have a choir off as well. That'll be worth looking at in the field as well. So if you murdered someone who was a heretic or a traitor, there's an exemplar that did that. The exemplar of vigilance. Yes, there were a few exemplars who have done that. To be honest, the purpose of the past is to inspire the present. Yes, we study history not to argue over the facts, but to identify lessons that can inspire us today. Interesting. Didn't know that about them. Doesn't change my opinion of them, but that's there too. Virtue and vice are contagious. A virtuous life leads the faithful to further righteous actions, but vile behaviour spreads just as easily if not checked. I need to go and have a chat with Highguard about my drug problem in character. It's not a problem, it's a hugely amazing condition that I have. And it spreads joy to the Empire. I think that they need to I think it'll be interesting for them to tell me if it's being threatened with Inquisition over it, if that's a virtuous act or is that disloyal. I don't know. There you go, Carl. That's one for you there. But by some example, you cannot be virtuous by just talking about it. No, you need to follow it up. So it's I'm going to go and murder that person who is going to go and kill the Empress. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go and kill them. But I'd be interested to know what the how virtuous they think Twilight is. That'd be interesting to me. I'd like to have that conversation with someone. A chapter is bound by spirit, not blood. Amongst the highborn, family ties matter less than shared belief, purpose, and vision. So is that a way of saying that family just get in the way? So they're more loyal so loyalty to your family is a detriment as long as you're loyal to your chapter. So that's interesting, that. Because with other nations, there are people who will be more loyal to their family. So, for example, Mac, my character, is insanely loyal to his friends and family, to the point of he has run into fights purely to defend his friends and family, even if his friends and family are completely in the wrong. But we'll deal. That's dealt with later. I am very loyal to my vices, definitely. What the Highborn are not, zealots or bigots. They are zealots in Highguard, but they strive to be righteous and lead by example. They are not self-righteous and condemnatory. This is true. They have issues with lineage, and while this is a conversation all on its own, it's not held to the same standards that the real world is, shall we say. Because at the end of the day, it is a game. So, but self-righteous, definitely met some highborn that are self-righteous. I think one got executed actually for heresy, so that would probably explain that. But so yeah, there are lots of things out there. It comes from the navigators who often were family orientated, and they were the ones who fought the chapters in the Civil War. Excellent. Okay, that's interesting. Next nation. Okay, so we'll just finish with this as well. They are not Christian Crusaders. The Highguard is partly inspired by the imagery and thieves of the Crusade, but there are major differences between Highborn chapters and the Crusading Order. Most specifically, Christian iconography is inappropriate here. Wonderful photo. Really like this one. Tom Garnett. So, and this lady here on the left, she went for Empress, I think year 2, and I got to witness her putting all her voice ideas across and stuff. And she says she's a very, very good speaker, very good speaker. Imperial Orcs. Oh my god, I'm really running out of time, aren't I? So, we've done a few streams on the Orcs. I really like the Orcs. I have every single time I talk about the Orcs to the Orcs, I want to play an Orc even more. So this is a great photo, Ollie Facey. So, the Empire is an empire of humanity, but the Imperial Orcs are not human and never will be. Orcs are creatures of two worlds, guided by the whisper of those who have gone before in their souls. So, they follow the virtues, but they don't believe in the labyrinth. They believe in the abyss. They have their own means and ways and means of doing things, and they are extremely different to the way that the Empire conduct things. They are, I think, they deal with things in a more head-on kind of way, and it can be a relief, can be annoying, but it's the same for across every single nation, though. Every single nation will do things that can annoy you and you approve of. So, 2 generations ago, the Imperial Orcs were slaves. First, they won their freedom by strength and indomitable will, forced the Empire to recognize the injustice it perpetrated against them. Reluctantly, the Empire gave them freedom, but nothing more. They are recognized as the 10th nation of the Empire, but they had no land to call their own. I was lucky enough to be around when they gave the Orcs Skarsind. It was a really interesting conversations that were going on. I wasn't directly involved in saying, yes, let's do this. I was just around to listen. And it was great because, well, people were all going, yes, we need to give the Orcs their own land. They need to have their own land. You're giving them our land. What? Who? No. Well, no. Let's rethink this. That was literally how the conversation went. And then it would kind of forced upon them. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Bring your own poker. I'm sure an Inquisition party is quite the riot. Probably is. I've been Inquisitioned a couple of times. It's very comfortable, Inquisitions. You get to sit down, have a chat. You sit on some cushions. I sat down, I had a sandwich, I had some drinks. Chatted, chilled, joked, and then got told that I was virtuous. I was like, well, I know. So yeah, very, very interesting. So, 5 things to know about the Imperial Orcs. Loyal to the core. There is something about Empire that I love about loyalty. It's something that really it reaches out to me and I really, as a virtue, I love loyalty. I really, really do. It's firmly become one of my favourites. I mean, I love courage. I mean, courage, obviously. Vigilance as well is all right. And that, because the amount of combat that I love to get involved in. But loyalty is, for me, loyalty is a really good roleplay effect as a virtue. You're friends with a certain group of people and you see them getting into a spot of bother. You're going to go running over if you're loyal to them. Your friends, your family, people like that, even your nation and stuff. I mean, for me personally, loyal to the Empire, yeah, that's a push. But you're going to be more loyal to your nation, to your friends, to your family, to your whole chapter, house, striding, steading, so legion, things like that. You're going to be more loyal to people like that because these are the people you're around all the time. So we are loyal to our legion, our nation, and our empire makes us who we are. Yeah, We are citizens, we run the right to be part of this empire, and we are proud of our place in it. Definitely. We are building a nation. We have a homeland now, but a nation is so much more than lines on a map. So yeah, so Scarsin is a start for them, and I'm sure that they will be given, or they will conquer other territories as well. So that's going to be interesting to see where they go from that. As a new player, it really surprises me that that actually happened, the Scarsin deal. It was weird. I think it was always going to happen, but I'm a bit shocked at how it happened. If my first character was still alive, yeah, they'd probably have opinions on it all, but I haven't played Cernanos for so long, I can't really remember his opinions on it. But as for now, I think it's good. It creates a lot of game, and I think it gives the Imperial Orcs a nice base to go off and do other things with. It's really good. War is in our soul. Fighting is spiritual, and it allows us to hear our ancestors. The Imperial Orcs are terrifying in a battle. They are absolutely incredible in a battle. I love fighting with them. I'm lucky enough that my unit in Wintermark is small enough so that we fight separately to a lot of things, and we get involved that way. And and following the Imperial Orcs into a fight was just so much fun. Singing, chatting, scrapping, too good. Really, really good fun. That's what I'm dedicated to. Loyalty. Really, really good. I do like the hearth magic that orcs don't like being by themselves. Next nation. Oh, next nation already. So life is precious. You have just one chance to make your mark. Do not squander it. What the Imperial Orcs are not. Traditional orcs. Do not think of Lord of the Rings, Game Workshop Warhammer settings. They do not fit, and they have been deliberately excluded. They are not savages. They are cultural. They are knowledgeable. They are intelligent. They are they're great. Really, if you want to be have a hatred of the orcs, don't read anything about the orcs. Go in with that assumed knowledge and then talk to them about it and accuse them of stuff on that. They'll love it. It will give you and them a lot of roleplay. So I will finish with the result because it's something that I always say. Go and visit the orcs. Go and talk to them. The people who sit by the gate want roleplay. So if they give you a hard time to get in, they're not stopping you from going in. They just want a little bit of interaction. They want a little bit of roleplay. Go and give it to them, because everyone deserves a bit of roleplay. The League. I didn't look at the photos. Ollie Facey and Steph Morris. That is amazing mask, and look at that kit. It's so good. No, we're not. Okay, that's fine. League. So, the people of the League, city folk through and through. Competition is fierce. So I really had my own misconceptions when it came to the League, until I started going there and hanging out at the theatre and doing things. So Beth Duna with General Gabriel. So this is a guy called Tim. He is really knowledgeable, really experienced in a lot of things when it comes to Empire. He is really, really good in the field. So yeah, so if you get the chance to chat to him in game or and that, then yeah, well worth it. Well worth it. So the League, city folk. Competition is fierce. You might fall behind, not because you have stumbled, but simply because someone else is faster. You're not given a free ride in the League. They are quite wealthy. The rivers that run down to the Bay of Katazar are the veins of the Empire, carrying the lifeblood of trade. They have, they make a lot of money. They, because every nation has ways of voting and doing things, and for the League, it's businesses and things. It's money. Money talks in the league, essentially. But they don't commit crimes. They don't commit crimes. They don't break the law because it's a savage way of doing things in the league. Essentially, they're better than that. No nation makes me buckle while monstering, but the Imperial Orcs, definitely. The Imperial Orcs are terrifying to fight. The league, we'll get into the league here. It is said that the cities of the league never sleep. By day, the powerful guilds clash over business interests, and the league's mercenary free companies seek to find work on the Empire's borders. The league has a few mercenary groups. They've got the Battle Butler, who is literally a butler who walks around. You get food and you can get drink during the battle. You've also got the Sea Wolves as well, who make a wonderful port. So something to look at as well. But they are, you've got the theatre in the league as well. Stepping into the league is a very, very different. It's a completely different world to the rest of that field. It's such a completely different feel when you walk into places. So, by night, the street balladeers perform on every corner. The rival theatre houses fight duels, where the wordplay matters more than the swordplay. The long con is much an art form here, as politics of high office. In the coffee houses that never close, the con covers both. So, the league is much more ruthless business and cutthroat competition. It's the centre of civilization. They fund so much in the league. They really, really do. My second favourite nation. The league are really interesting. In the last couple of years, I've been spending more time at the league because I got heavily involved away from the field with the league theatre. Where I helped the theatre raise enough money to buy themselves a new tent that was needed. They are an incredible place. So they wear masks, and they have different masks that symbolise different things. So they'll wear a mask when they're conducting certain business, and they'll have another mask when they're doing something else. So it's really they have books as well. I don't understand a lot of it, but they have a book as well of like debts owed and things like that. So they're not going to kill you off if you owe them loads of stuff, because at the end of the day they can get that stuff back off of you. So life is competition. Someone is always keeping score. Citizens of the league love to compete in everything they do. Yes, they like to duel. They like to be the best. They're not the best. They like to be the best. And it's really interesting to... I was having a chat with their egregore, one of their egregores. And it's really interesting the way they deal with people, because they are very much... If they think that you're getting them ahead of something, they will be 100% behind you. If they don't think it's really going to work, it's not worth their time, they'll talk to you, but they won't really give you much else than that. And it's quite interesting. The rules of the game are not to be broken. League society has simple rules, but woe betide those who break them. They are particularly ruthless with lawbreakers. So the league are not there to screw people over and do things illegally. They do it all by the book. It's all done properly. But they will do anything that they can to get ahead, which is quite cool. Keep your loyalties close, like the rings on your fingers. They take loyalty very seriously. So the league have rings that they wear and they give to people, and it's the way that they do it. So it's not just like for marriage and things like that. It can be for literally anything. We've come into this deal. Well, have this ring, and this ring will symbolise what we have until this deal is off, and then I can return the ring. It'll be a symbol of our loyalty to one another. That's the sort of thing. Coin counts and everything costs. This is a land of conspicuous consumption where wealth is power and nothing worth having is free. What can you show off that was free? I spent 10 thrones on this cake. It's the best cake the Empire has ever seen. Marvel at my cake. Can you have a slice? No. It cost me 10 thrones, this cake. That's it. Everything is on show like a mask on your face. Bold, flamboyant action is the best way to publicise yourself and your services, but no one confuses the mask with the real thing. So, as I say, they wear masks, and they wear masks for different things, and it's all symbolises what they are currently doing. So, next nation already, Jesus. Isn't there stories of leaguers charging in to save someone yelling, "That bastard owes me money"? That happens a lot. That happens a lot in the field. So what they are not. Popinjays and dandies. While appearance and charm are important, wit and panache are no substitute for actual deeds. Scratch the surface of the league and beneath you find a nation of ruthless, ambitious people absolutely committed to their goals. Da Vinci inventors. Citizens of the league are imaginative and ingenious and solve problems with their brains, not their brawn. But Empire is not a game that supports the inventions of new technologies. League characters are audacious rather than inventive. And here you go. Another photo. See? Looks really cool. Their kit looks amazing. Photo by Beth Duna. Geez. Beatriz Sanguinio Rezia di Tassato, Prince of the Gilded Horn Carter. Well, that's easy for them to say, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, right, marches. Marches are great. They, for me, so I know, mate. I'm so hungry now. I shouldn't have talked about cake. Have I got any? No, see, tangents. Can't do tangents. I want cake, though. I love the marches. Oh, Adam, yeah. Speaking of the league, I will be coming to find you in the league. I need to come and get my Seros time in the league. That's for sure. Yeah, Navarr won't be the same without you, mate. So marches, very much the I suppose I use the term lower class because I can't think of any other way to describe them. They are the backbone of the nation. They are the farmers. They are those sorts of people. They are in football terms, they're a sleeping giant. They are the ones who, if everything went their way, they would suddenly be like the most powerful nation going. They are an incredible nation. I'd really have a soft spot for the marches. So the marches are the guts of the empire. They may not be pretty, but they are vital. You say that, they are also, their kit standards are to the such that it may not look the best, but it will be, I suppose, for the poorer people, they will look really well off. So it's like the best of the bad. Yeah, think of it like that. Nature is their servant, bound and shackled with looming menhirs and iron ploughshares, a hound tamed and set to lie before their doors. They understand sacrifice, not the easy sacrifice of blood for the harvest, but the hard sacrifice of lives spent day after day working for the future. The marches is the sleeping giant of the empire. Enemy boots churn up the rich soil as the dog days of summer give way to the cold dawn of autumn and to war. They are great fun. I love going into the marches. I love their bar. I love chatting to them all because they are the salt of the earth. Peasants, yeah, well, yeah, I suppose if you compare it to Dawn, yeah, I suppose so. Cambians love this nation. Easy to see why, definitely. My beautiful parsnip people, they are great. Every single season, Mac and someone from the marches, we have a bet on who can do the most stupid thing during a battle. This was where I was dared to dry hump a land shark. all for a crown. I did. So, heavily community-minded. Don't think peasants, as they all strive to be prosperous individuals. Think low fantasy, grounded aesthetic as the norm, but with some fantastical flourishes. I don't think that there is... I'll scroll down and let's see if it says anything here. I mean, they're not pagans. They're not authentic. So, low fantasy nation designed to allow people to use the extensive costume resource of the Anarchy, the Wars of the Roses, and the 100-Year Wars. However, the Marchers are still a fantasy nation, owing as much to the Wicker Man or Pratchett's Tiffany Aching series as the Ellis Peters Cadfael stories or the Cousins War. This is no place for arguments about historical authenticity, damn it. There we go. So, lower class peasants, take all of these sorts of ideals, mishmash them all together. That's what you've got. Salt of the earth, community focused, stick together, loyal, just great. I think there's a law somewhere that I have to call them peasants. Ben, when you go and tell them this, I want to be there. Land matters above all else. Control and ownership of the land influences every aspect of Marcher life, especially politics and magic. They have deep roots and long memories, proud of their history and their long rivalries between households. They never forgive a grudge. No, that is very, very true. They are fiercely independent, proud and stubborn. They solve their own problems and stand their ground to defend what is theirs. Yeah, Holberg's a thing. They really, really do. They play that so well. Reading that there, the Marchers, the players, yeah, they play that so well. They really, really do. They choose their leaders, Marcher led, not ruled. Everyone is born equal and respect is earned, not demanded. Yep. This is a land that dislikes change for change's sake. A land comfortable with routine where imperial virtues are just plain common sense. Fantastic. That's literally it. They are, if it's sensible, do it. If it's like use your common sense, is what you're doing, is it against the virtues? Well, don't do it. That's it. Nice and simple. Further reading. Oh, General Flowers. Legend. Absolute legend. So another one by Tom Garnett. So this is the Marchers. Looks like they are gearing up by the Sentinel Gate here. Gearing up for a scrap. So they fight in, I suppose, traditional military tactics. So with bill hooks and stuff like that. So there'll be a nice big bill block of them. And they all go marching off together. When it works, it's insane. Nothing stops them. If it fails, they fall apart fairly quickly, unfortunately. Next nation. With a tasteful dash of hot fuzz Sanford. Yeah, to an extent, I would agree. Mama for hire right here. Less swords, more songs. Help your beanstalk grow straight and strong. Guaranteed. Fucking love it. Love it. It's so good. I will recommend to every new player, every new person who's watching, there is a brilliant bar in the Marchers, and I can't remember what it's called. Chat might have to help me on this one. I will recommend everyone goes there. Just, yeah, they did the Wicker Man. They actually did a Wicker Man. They burnt a Wicker Man, which I didn't watch, but that apparently was really good. But I will recommend all new players go to the Marchers, go to the bar, and go and chat to them, because it's great. You will end up going back. Oh, 4 more to go in 20 minutes. Shit. Navarr, right. Let's... it's a great photo. Beth Duna. I love that armour. That's so cool. So, the Navarr are the blood that runs through the Empire's veins. There are reasons for this. The Navarr lost an empire before. They're not losing another one. They are the lifeblood of everything. They have got guides that will guide and talk to anybody in the nation. If someone needs help, go and find the guides. You can talk to them about anything. You can be from Highguard and you go and have a chat with the Navarr guides, because that's what they're there for. They will talk to anybody and advise everybody, because that's their job. So I think this is this Will Chapman photo from Will Chapman. So this is the egregore here, Dave. So the Navarr are they are skirmishers. They are very, very proud. They will fight and die to save this empire. Navarri Fighter's Thorn. So 5 things about the empire. I'm rushing it a bit now, I'm well aware. Like cake in a tumble dryer. Brilliant. Strength to the empire. Straight to the bar. The empire is a home. They travel the empire carrying messages, information, and people across the land. So they walk the trods, which powers their hearth magic, and it helps a lot. They also fight the Valorn, which are currently the greatest threat to the empire. If as a new player you get the chance to go on a Valorn skirmish, do it. Because fighting the Valorn is great fun, and I love it. Survival is changed. Their lifestyle is one of consistent change as they travel the wilds and they adapt accordingly. So they have stridings and steadings. So the stridings are groups of Navarr who walk the trods, and steadings are little holdings, little towns, villages, and that's where a lot of stridings will come through, resupply, stay for a bit, and then go on their way again. Actions have consequences. The Navarr take the long view. They are often magnanimous and see their actions in terms of the effect they will have in years to come, not just today. If they will secure an easy victory, but in the long run it's not doing anything, they probably won't do it. If they are going to fight a battle and lose, but they know that holding someone there means that in a year's time, it means that that battle over there, we will definitely win, they'll do that. Because that battle might, if it's more important, they will do that. It's all about the Sanford effect. It's the greater good. You cannot betray your enemies. I love this. The Navarr are fierce in battle. They don't let sentiment get in the way of finding practical solutions to their problems. So my very, very quick tangent here is I fought a duel against one of the Jotun, and all I did was I walked around, so this Jotun had their back to 3 other Navarr. I didn't even raise my mace or hammer to hit this person, because the 3 Navarr behind him just hacked him to pieces and executed him. That was it. You cannot betray your enemies. The only good enemy is a dead enemy. That's the thing. Tread carefully in wild places. The Navarr are vigilant to the dangers of the world they travel through. The Valorn. So it's a really simple thing for the Navarr. Practical, loyal, proud, knowledgeable. They are not uncivilized or outcasts. So there's a lot of things. When the Navarr come up in conversations, people say, oh, I'm going to be in the Navarr. I'm just not going to have a bath for a month, and I'll be. And that's what the Navarr are. They're just dirtier than this, and they are really, really aren't. Rosemary in the Discord has incredible examples of what tidy, posh Navarr kit can look like, and it looks amazing. The embroidery is fantastic. They are not animists, nature worshippers, or Celts. Nope, definitely not. The Navarr are adept at living in the wild, but they do not romanticize that lifestyle. They take a very dim view of those who do. Their culture bears a few similarities with some Celtic mythology, but there are no tribal goddesses, no wild hunt, no wholesale lifted Celtic myth. The Navarr have their own stories. my first character, Cernanos, is the Celtic god of the dead. That's the name, and that is where I got it from. But apart from that, that was the only similarity that I had there. The Navarr are a really good nation for new players. Greatest spiritual threat, I think. Oh, I thought they were actually voted the greatest threat. The Navarr are really good. As a nation, they are really welcoming to new players as well. So even if you're not in that nation, you are more than welcome to go along, sit down. You're welcome to do it in any nation. Go along, sit down, chat, ask questions. They will all help you out. They're really welcoming. Song and story time as well on the Saturday night. Well worth a visit. The whole woods are lit up, in fact. Really good place to be. So, yeah, I think I did pretty well on that one. We are survivors of an ancient, powerful empire. We know better. Yeah. So, Urizen. So, I'm going to cut down quickly to what they are not. Because I have found that when a lot of people talk about Urizen, they are considered to be this, that, or the other. And more often than not, they're wrong. So what they are not: pacifists, procrastinators, or unarmed combatants. They are reasonable people, but are quite prepared to fight to get what they want. The Sentinels are awesome. They're just likely to consider for a moment if violence is the best course of action before they attack. When the Urizen think of martial skills, they think of weapons. Wrestling or even touching your enemies is a distasteful idea. Much better to keep them at bay and overwhelm them with your consummate weapon skill than let them get close to you. So, Urizen are they perfect their arts. They perfect what they do. This is a nation of timeless tranquility preserved by strength, of decisive action guided by reason, of majestic spires and citadels reaching towards the sky. It is a nation of magic where magic is king. They are great at magic. They will continue to do everything, well, not just with magic, to be the best that they can possibly be. They train heavily, they train hard. They seek mastery, not only for themselves, but of the world around them. They have this thing called poise, which a lot of people think, not fantasy Vulcans, no. I consider myself a fairly fancy Navarr. I embroider all my kit. Oh, you have to put photos up. I need to see photos. Just because I'm lying in a bush waiting to ambush someone doesn't mean that I can't look fabulous. That's amazing. That's so cool. I love it. I'm going to murder you now. But have you seen my trousers? They look amazing, don't they? It's fantastic. I love it. A fabulous ambush. They also have their secret rituals. Yep. So, there's... so poise is something that's really misunderstood. Poise is just thinking about what you're doing. And is it suitable? So, Claire put it in a really good way where she did a funeral, and it was best for everybody there that she kept her head, and she just delivered the funeral rites, and she just did all of that, and that was it. And then she went back to her tent with some people, and she cried and it was only a brief thing because she needed to be strong for the other people who were grieving. That's an example of poise. So it's really, really interesting. Urizen, for me, as a player, are more of a difficult nation. I don't think I have, I suppose, the skill as a role player to play in Urizen. I don't think Steve has the mindset for Urizen. And the people who do play in Urizen, they are so good. There are a lot of people there who I look up to as role players. So I will always say, if you get any questions about magic, head into Urizen, even if it is purely just to go and find them and chat to them about it all, because it's well worth doing. They live their lives by reason. Rationality and logic are the tools with which they pick apart the secrets of creation. They aspire to excellence, not just for themselves, but for the Empire and the rest of humanity. They seek mastery, not only for themselves, but of the world around them. So they're perfectionists. They want to be the best of the best. Education is the greatest gift one can give. People who understand the world are simply better than people who do not. See, that's fantastic. So I would highly recommend going in there just to chat about magic and things. So this is Tom Garnett. Another Tom Garnett photo there. See, with a very blue and flowy. Is it me, or does this page seem a lot shorter than all the others? If that's a link, chuck it to one of my mods. Chuck it to one of my mods, and they can put it in, or put it in the kit or photos page in the Discord, and then everyone can see. So, right, second to last, Varushka. So Varushka, I really enjoyed doing the stream talking about Varushka. Varushka is essentially the world of The Witcher. That's very, very basic. There's a lot of dark stories that lay off the roads in Varushka. There's a lot of places like that. They love their stories. They've got very powerful ancient evils that live there. They are... they love to tell... They love stories. That's how everything is handed down throughout the generations. They are really, really cool. Pop it on Discord, just have to join. Yes, go join the Discord. So, I love Varushka. I have discovered since doing that stream, I genuinely love Varushka. So, 5 things about Varushka. Do not let your eyes fool you. Appearances are deceptive. Take nothing for granted. They have... I can't remember the name of them, but they have people who will come and visit who will look like loved ones. They will look like friends and family, purely to get into your home and eat your kids. So they have those sorts of things going in there. They respect your elders. The old possess wisdom that you will need to survive here. So they are essentially, it's ruled by by the elders. So they have an elder council, and they will advise. Oh, it's pouring with rain now. And they will give you the advice to the best of their abilities. They will tell you what to do, what not to do, and things like that. Do not leave the road. Only the human inhabitants of this place wish you well. Breaking the rules can have terrible consequences. Lots of nasty things live off the roads. Don't leave the roads in Varushka, basically. You want to know more? Go and have a chat with them in Varushka. The Sovereign's Head. Great bar. You're not allowed in on the Friday night. But you're allowed in on the Saturday night. Go and have a chat with people in there. Go and ask them about Varushka. They love to tell stories there. Their bar is in a really good place as well, because when you walk out of the bar, there's like 3 fires that they have set up there as well. It's insanely welcoming. They are really, really good people there. Prepare for difficult choices. Often the only choice is the lesser of 2 evils. Essentially, for me, personally, it feels like Varushka are fighting a losing battle. And you can only pick the lesser of 2 weevils. Do not tolerate fools or wastrels. Tolerance builds complacency and invites disaster. if Varushka don't want you around, they will offer you food for the road. If they don't want you there, or if you have fucked up royally with them, they will offer you a sandwich, something, a little snack to have on the road as you leave. It's their way of telling you to get out because you've really offended them. So it's a really interesting way of doing things, and I really like it. What they are not evil. No. They can be authoritarian, uncompromising, and intolerant, but they are law-abiding, not sadistic, bloodthirsty, or cruel. Their rule is hard, but the real monsters lie outside the walls. Massively so. They do a night market there, and you can walk around, and everybody who's on the stalls and stuff like that love to tell you little tales as well. So I brought a painting actually at their last one. Which I've still got. Cossacks. Varushka draws on Eastern Europe and Russia, but is also inspired by Germany, dark fantasy, and the Brothers Grimm. The Cossacks are the stereotypes that accompany them, but are not part of the setting. No. So, yeah, I really do like Varushka. So another Charlotte Moss. So every nation has its own festival.
Time for the final and best nation.
What, the Jotun? Not pictured the wolf trying to murder said festival goes. That's a shame. There is another. Sorry, I really like this one because this shows off the nation and their kit. This is so cool. Look at that drow gear. He looks amazing. So Joe Perridge. Look at that kit. How cool does that look? It looks absolutely amazing. There is a photo somewhere that tangent. There is a photo somewhere. The Russian accent isn't mandatory. No accent is mandatory at Empire. But there is a picture somewhere of a Navarr, or is he Wintermark? I can't remember. But he's picking up a young lad, and they're both staring off. They're looking off to the left of the picture. This young lad was on the floor, bleeding out, screaming for help. So me and this other guy went running towards them. And as we were getting towards this kid, I said to him, right, you pick him up and I'll hold them off. And I went running off into the Orcs to have a bit of a Barney. So as he's picking the kid up, obviously the photographer gets a photo of him saving this kid. But if they had panned out a little bit, got a bit more of the image, you'd have seen me charging off into a line of Orcs on my own. Go figure. I'm not butthurt at all over that one. 4 people, 1 nation. Yeah. So, Wintermark. The not Vikings. So, Wintermark, 3 nations, really. They're 3 nations in one. So, Wise Calavesi, Bold Steiner, Clever Suak. So, Calavesi thinks Swamp Witches. That's the sort of thing. They're the seers of, well, in any fantasy, really. That's the sort of thing for them. They wear a lot of feathers. They wear bird skulls and stuff like that as well. Steiner, the proud warriors, interested in money and looking good, basically. They don't do much else. So yeah, they're the bulk of the fighting force, the Steiner, and the Suak, clever. The story they tell stories. They're hunters, and that's the 3 nations. There's a lot that go into these 3 nations that keep Wintermark together. wise shamans untangle the skeins. So the skein is like the story. It's the soul, essentially, and they do a skein reading to look into your future. Excuse me. Dear. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into Wintermark. The briefs really delve into a very deep and this is what this is what this is, like all the briefs do. But they are quite diverse in what they say. So shamans obviously look into your skeins to give you a little glimpse of what your future could hold, and it's meant to guide you. Thanes, who are the head of halls, they're just there to dictate what happens on a day-to-day basis. So you've got Grimnirs, who are healers. They're forbidden from battle by sacred oath, so they heal everybody. The Stormcrows watch, and they advise people and stuff. So they're quite an in-depth nation. There's a lot more to all of these nations than I've touched on, but this is a very, very brief overlook. Everything that they do. You have Scops. So for Wintermark, being named is a very, very big thing. I have caused quite a few people to be named. I've not been named myself. I was offered to be named while I was in Navarr, but I turned it down because I wanted to earn it when I was in the nation. So earning a name or a deed name is a very, very big thing. So that's done by Scops, who tell people stories, because this is how it's all passed on through the generation. So song and poem, and that. So wee wah, indeed. This can be a harsh land, but it does not breed harsh people. They hone their minds with riddles and mysteries, and their souls sing with poetry. They craft beauty for the dreadful arts of war, weaving runes into every axe, shield, and helmet. Their wise traditions of Were, Guild, and Moot laid the foundations of the Empire's law and governance. They are the beating heart of the Empire, and they know that if only the other nations followed their example, the Empire would rule the world. So yeah, Wintermark brought law, and brought law to the Empire. Thanks, I guess. So 5 things about Empire. Science, side by storm. Wintermark is a harsh land. Mastering it has made us strong. Or did I look at this? That was true. Who's this done by? I don't know. What did it say? Nope, author unknown. So parts of the winter, all of the nations seem to live in like the most harshest conditions going in the field. So so swamp, mountains, and it's just swamps are the worst. Let's face it. So a hero's tale ends with a good death. We glory in battle. We stand tall and do not skulk from danger. No. So for me, as a Calavesi, I'm going to really talk about what the Calavesi are. So for the Calavesi, you make a decision, you stick with it, and you don't stop until you've seen it through to the end. The Steiner, they stand there, they make themselves look pretty, and the Suak, similar, probably. I don't know too much about them because I'm not them. We will do a Wintermark stream where we go into a lot more detail. We will do them all, in fact. So cold cannot compromise. We do not compromise even with ourselves. Not even age or injury turn us from our undertaking. This is true. Wintermark do not give up. It's difficult to talk about Wintermark as a whole because they are 3 very different nations within Wintermark. So a hero has a name. We prize individuality. Your name is the beginning of your story. So earning a name for doing something, it doesn't necessarily have to be fighting. You can earn a name for doing anything. You can earn a name for singing amazing songs. You can earn a name for being a brilliant healer. You can earn a name for being the best apothecary in Anvil. You can earn a name for doing anything. You can earn a name for being crap as well. You can earn a name for being useless. So it's not all positive. You can earn a name for being absolutely dogshit at what you do. So, 3 tiers entwined. The 3 peoples of the Wintermark are indivisible. They live together and fight as one. I guess. In the field, there are definite units. There's different things that they fight, how they fight, but it's specific fighting styles. So you can have Steiner, Calavesi, Siwak all fighting together in a shield wall, for example. It does happen. So technically, the Empire is 12 nations. Yeah, pretty much, I'd say so. So what the Winterfolk are not. They are not Vikings. They are not Vikings. The Steiner are inspired by the Saxons and the Rohirrim from the Lord of the Rings, and they follow Imperial religion. There are no longships, raiders, or horned helmets, and Thor and the Norse pantheon are actively excluded from the brief. You'll never see Mjolnir, you'll never see Yggdrasil, you'll never see anything Viking related in that field. The runes are made, they have their own set of runes, which they don't have here, so... another photo by Beth Duna. So these are 3 people from Ashenhall in Wintermark, and really cool kit. Really cool kit. That's all I can say about that. So all of these nations appeal to to everybody in really different ways. Some people will look at certain nations and just to say, I'll want to do that because I really like this part of the brief, or I like that part of the brief, or I like a different part of the brief, or I like their kit and stuff like that. It's all about finding what fits best for you and what you want to get out of the game. Don't be, don't force yourself to join a nation where you're going to look at the nation and think, I just realised I can get rid of that now, can't I? Yay! So you don't think that you're going to join a nation and you're going to hate that brief. Join something where you're going to have fun. Join a nation where the brief appeals and you can jump into it face first, because that's what you want at the end of the day. Excuse me. So don't do something that you're not going to have fun with. I will say the only Horde helmets in that field are the Cambions trying to wear hats. True, but no. Find what's going to be best suited for you. If you are struggling to come up with, to find a nation that best fits what you want to do, come and join the Discord. Go join the Facebook groups. There are plenty of there are plenty of people out there who have a lot of knowledge within this. They will all help you find the place that you want to fit. The other thing as well is that when you are in the field, if you are finding that you are struggling in the nation you are in, if you don't want to make a new character, find another nation that fits you. Find another nation that fits you, and you can change nations in the field. You get a lot of epic roleplay. That's what the egregores are there for. They are there to help you. They are NPCs. They are there to help you enjoy your game. So that's a big thing as well. Or if you just want to re-roll a new character, new kit, go off and join a different nation. Then go off and do that too. So I struggled a lot to get all of the nations into 80 minutes, 80 minutes in the end. But we've got there, run over, so I'm sorry. But any questions, join the Discord. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, chuck any questions into the comments or join the Discord. as we come to the end, here is all your info. Yeah, so there's the Discord. There's all my other bits and bobs there. So, yeah, feel free. Ask questions. There are no wrong questions here. And at the end of the day, the reason we do all of this is because I want to help people have fun. And you've seen how good and supportive we all are. So, yeah. Yeah, follow here, subscribe on YouTube. It all helps massively. It really, really does. And yeah, next stream will be on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I believe we are talking about kit. So I will be asking a lot of the fantastic kit makers out there to come and give me a hand on that one. So yeah, and if you have a couple of spare quid a month, look at the Patreon as well, because it all helps. It really, really does. Wednesday, kit briefs, and Friday, the healing and the hospital. Yep. I'm so excited to get in the field. I feel completely overwhelmed in my first event. I've been going since the beginning and I still feel overwhelmed. Lots of people do. You forget how big it is when you're in the field. So, yeah. But still. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much for coming along, listening to me drivel on about this. Thank you so much for everyone who's asked questions. Thank you everyone who's given bits. Thank you everyone who has subscribed as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you everyone who's followed. Rakebeard, yes, awesome. Thank you. But yeah, get involved. Jump into the Discord. Chat. We can help with everything. If you need it, we will help. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. Take care. Much love. Stay safe. And if you're struggling, remember to reach out. We're all here to help. Okay? Well played. Take care. See you all soon. Bye-bye.